If you want to have a successful marriage in life, there are things you should know first in relationships before you agree to marry that woman or you agree to get married to that man. There are 9 things you should know in relationships that will help you to decide whether to say yes to that man or whether to say no to that man or whether to marry that woman or whether not to marry that woman. Hello people, welcome to Relationship Mysteries. In today's video, I'll be speaking on a topic, a very critical topic. 9 things you should know in relationships if you want to have a successful marriage. I will always say is that marriage is neutral. Marriage will always take the shape and the form of the individuals that are entering it. So marriage on its own does not work. What works is the individuals that makes it to work. What works is the individuals that are in that marriage is what will make that marriage to work. Because sometimes I see people criticize the institution called marriage as if marriage on its own can make itself work. No. Marriage is neutral. Marriage takes the shape, marriage takes the mentality, marriage takes the character of the individuals that are in it. So what it means is that if individuals that are in a marriage are bad, that marriage is going to become bad. If the individuals that are within a marriage, if they are good, that marriage automatically will become a good marriage. So you cannot isolate the quality of a marriage from the quality of the individuals that are inside that marriage. So in this video, you are going to learn 9 things. These 9 things should be clear to you if you are going to have a successful marriage with a man or a woman. You should be able to know these 9 things in relationship when you are still dating that woman. These 9 things should be clear to you before you will now decide to take that relationship to the next level. So number 1 thing is that you need to know that person's foundation or the source of that person. Listen, there is no human being in this world that fell from the sky. All of us are coming from a background. All of us are coming from a place. There is nobody that does not have a family. So if you are going to get married to a man or you are going to marry a woman, you need to ascertain the quality of the foundation, the background that gave birth to that man or that woman. You need to study the quality of the family that gave birth to them. You need to study the behavior of the family that produced that woman. You need to study the behavior of the family that produced that man. So if the foundation or the behavior, the character, the mentality of the family that gave birth to them is not clear, please, you need to pause that your marital intention for now until you are clear about their family identity, until you are clear about their family character, until you are clear about the type of ideology that governs their family. So if you can't be able to ascertain the kind of ideology, the kind of thinking pattern that reigns in that family, don't go ahead with them in marriage. So if you are in a relationship with a man now, it's an opportunity that God has given to you to study the foundation that gave birth to that man. If you are in a relationship with a woman, it's an opportunity God too have given to you to study the foundation that gave birth to that woman. Don't say it doesn't matter, because a tree will always reproduce fruits that are like it. So an orange tree will always produce orange fruits. A mango tree will always give birth to mango fruits. That means to say you cannot separate the quality of the fruit from the quality of the tree. That means to say you cannot separate the quality of a stem from the quality of the root. So what it means to say, you cannot separate a person from his or her family identity. Because the nature all of us have came from our family. The way we think still came from our family. Because it was our parents that trained us. They were the first people that impacted us. So if you are listening to me, you need to ascertain the foundation that gave birth to somebody before you will agree to go on with them in that relationship. Before you will agree to get married to them or marry them in life. The second thing you should know, if you are in a relationship with a woman now, or you are in a relationship with a man now, the second thing you should know is that you need to ascertain their mentality. I will always tell people that all of us are thought personified. All of us embody a form of thinking. You cannot separate the way I think from the way I behave, because it is my thoughts that will control my actions, and it is equally my thoughts that controls my words. That's why some people will tell you that words are thoughts packaged in vocabulary. So what you call words are simply thoughts, packaged thoughts in vocabulary. So what it means to say is that you cannot separate any lady you see anywhere from the way she thinks. And you cannot separate any man you see anywhere from the way that man thinks. So the mentality we have in life is what determines the way we will relate with people in relationships and marriage. So if I'm going to behave in a way in marriage, what will make me behave in that way in that marriage is my mentality. So that's why don't say it doesn't matter. Don't say it doesn't matter, because my mentality is what controls who I am. And your mentality is what will control who you are. So when you see people complaining that someone is misbehaving in a relationship or marriage, what they are indirectly telling you is that their mentality is not healthy. Because our thoughts will always control our actions and our words. So before you agree to even date a man, let me put it like this: while you are still inside that relationship with that man, you should be able to ascertain the way that man thinks, the way he reasons, the way that woman thinks, the way that woman reasons. Very important, because at the end of the day, what will make that woman to stay with you successfully in marriage is her mentality. At the end of the day, what will make that man to stay with that woman successfully in that marriage is that man's mentality. So if you want to marry a woman, you need to ascertain the quality of her thoughts. And if you want to get married to a man, you need to ascertain the quality of his mentality. You should know the second thing about people while you are still in relationship with them before you will agree whether to take that relationship to the next level or not. The third thing you should know in relationships, if you want to have a successful marriage with somebody, is that you need to know their reason for living, which is called purpose. Why? Because purpose is higher than life. I always ask people, every one of us, we want to get married. You want to marry a woman. As a woman, you want to get married to a man. My question is this: if you get married to a man, what will you be doing with that man in that marriage? It's a real question that I see people ask sometimes. relationship, even before they agree to start a relationship with a man or a woman. A lot of us don't ask this question. You want to start a relationship with a woman with a view that that relationship will lead you people to marriage. But you don't care to find out the reason for the living of that woman or that man. What is the purpose that is driving that man's life? What is the purpose that is driving that woman's life? Have you cared to find out? Have you cared to discover the reason for their living? Have you cared to discover the vision of their life vision, their life mission? Something that makes them to wake up in the morning. Something that makes them to go out every day. Something they want to accomplish. I always tell people, without purpose, relationships and marriage are useless. A marriage without purpose is a useless marriage. Any marriage without purpose is useless. Because if there is no purpose, that the two individuals that are in that marriage are looking forward to accomplishing, that marriage sooner than later will become boring to them. That is why people are always tired in marriages. Why? Because there is nothing that they are chasing in that marriage. There is nothing that both of them are looking forward to accomplishing. Because at the end of the day, it is value that will make both of you to stay together in that marriage. So if you are relating with a woman now, as both of you are doing, I love you, what you need to ask yourself, you need to find out is the purpose for that man's life. What is he living for? What is she living for? Okay, if both of us come together, what are we going to be living for inside this marriage? Since both of us are in relationships now, have we been able to have a clear picture of what both of us are living for, so that we can be able to support each other? Because if I don't know the reason for your living, I cannot support you now. So if I'm confused about what you are living for, so how will I be able to support you? If you are confused in relationship, before we translate that relationship to marriage, then how will I be able to support you? How will I even know what to support in your life? So the reason for your living should be clear to me if I'm going to support you inside that marriage. And I should be able to know these things while I'm still relating with you. Do you know why a lot of marriages are frustrated today? Because why people were still dating, why they were still courting, why they were still in relationship, they did not care to find out what both of them are living for. But if you don't care to find out the reason for your living, the purpose each of you are pursuing in life, if you don't care to find out about it while you guys are still in that relationship, when you get into marriage is going to force you people to start looking for it. And by that time, sometimes it's too late. People are angry with themselves. People are frustrated with themselves. People are even trying to opt out. Why? Because there is no clear goal. There is no clear identity of why they entered into that marriage in the first place. And this identity should be very clear to both of you while you are still in relationship with each other, before both of you will agree whether to now move that relationship to the next level. The fourth thing you should know why both of you are still in relationship, if you want to have a successful marriage, is that you should consider the usefulness of that man, the significance of that woman to you in life. Consider that person's value. Because I will always tell you that you see feelings. Yes, both of you are attracted to each other. You are vibing, you are happy while you are still in relationship. The truth is that when you are in relationship with a man, or when you are in relationship with a woman, do you know what happens? Because You just see the man, you go home, the man sees you, the man will go back to his house. So both of you are not living together. Both of you are just relating. And you know that if something happened in that relationship, that you can leave, you can quit that relationship. So sometimes people build their relationship based on their emotions, based on what they are seeing, based on their feelings. But they fail to consider the place of value, the usefulness of the person to them in their life, in that relationship or marriage. And it is value that makes marriage to survive, not emotions, not feelings. Feelings will fade with time. What will abide with you and that man when you guys are done with that relationship and you are now in marriage is value, is the youthfulness. Because once you are married to a woman, or a woman is married to you, after the first year, the second year, the third year, both of you will start getting fed up with each other. You cannot stop that. Because if you have slept with a man and you have slept with a woman from year 1 to year 3, there is no point you will not be fed up with her. Sometimes you even be bored, because this is somebody, when you go to bed, you wake up with her every day. So you are seeing her every day. So with time, you start taking her for granted because of familiarity. Because you have not seen her nakedness, she has not seen your nakedness. So there is nothing new that excites her about you again. So there is nothing new that excites the man about the woman again. That is why some men cheat even in marriage. Because at that point, the woman is now almost looking like his sister. And at that point, their emotions will start fading. It will start failing them. But one thing that will sustain that marriage, apart from marital covenant, is value. Because if I know that this is your usefulness to me in marriage, or I know that this is the usefulness of this man to me inside marriage, or this is the usefulness of this woman to me inside marriage, that value will help me to still be with her in that marriage. So don't marry a man or a woman that is not useful to you. Don't base it on sex alone. Don't base your marital decision on sex alone. Base it on value. Love without value will fade away. Love without value will lead to frustration. Because marriage will always make demand on value, not on feelings. Feelings will die with time, but value will continue to live with both of you in that marriage. So if you are in relationship with a man, if you are in relationship with a woman, you need to consider their value in your life. The fifth thing you should know, if you are in a relationship with a man or a woman, before you will translate that relationship to marriage, is that you need to consider their sexual beliefs and behavior. Listen, don't say it doesn't matter. Sex is still part of our lives. We cannot lie and we cannot pretend about that. Just like you have different departments in your life. You have your financial life, you have your health life, you have your business life, you have your work life, you have your marital life. In the same way, you have your spiritual life, you have your mental life, you have your emotional life. In the same way, you have your sexual life as well. You cannot deny that. So if you are in a relationship with a man or you are in a relationship with a woman, you need to understand, you need to find out their beliefs and behavior towards sex. Don't say it doesn't matter. Because I have seen relationships crumble. Why? Because I have seen marriage collapse. I have seen marriage fail. Why? Because of the issue of sex. Because the type of sexual pattern, the type of sexual style is not what the woman is comfortable with. So the woman decides to opt out. So if you are going to have a successful marriage, you need to consider the sexual belief and behavior of the person you are with in that relationship now. If you are the type, and you should be, that believes in sex after marriage, you need to ask him questions about his beliefs and behavior, what he considers to be safe and healthy when it comes to sex. It's very important. Or else, if you don't find out about this thing I'm telling you right now, the issue of sex has power to destroy marriage. As simple as it sounds, it can destroy you people's marriage. Especially you are a woman, you know you don't like doing this kind of sexual stuff, but the man you are with likes it, and it's something that whatever you do, it will jeopardize your health. You need to find out. You need to tell the man ahead of time. So it's always good that both of you sit down and talk about it. Sweetheart, in this relationship, okay, both of us are looking at that this relationship is going to lead to marriage. Okay, when it comes to the issue of sex, what are your beliefs and your behavior towards sex? What do you think about sex when it comes to the issue of sex? What do you think? What do you call safety when it comes to issue of sex? What do you consider as healthy when it comes to the issue of sex? Let him answer you. Let her answer you. You so that you will be clarified on this matter before both of you enter into marriage. So that tomorrow somebody will not shock you in marriage. Somebody will not shock you. Because for instance, now you are a woman, you like keeping yourself. You are a woman that don't like cheating. You don't want to cheat on your man. You like being faithful to your man. But your man have this kind of belief that to him, it does not matter. He can sleep with any woman he sees anywhere. So to him, cheating is nothing. To him, infidelity is nothing. And so do you see you have shot yourself in the foot? You don't believe in infidelity, but the man you are with believes in infidelity. So how will that marriage work? So that's why it's very important that you consider the sexual behavior of the man or the woman you are with in a relationship before you guys will get into marriage. You don't believe in anal sex. The man you are with believes in anal sex, so it's already a problem. So you need to ask that man or that woman the question about sex, so that if you want that relationship to translate to marriage, so that somebody will not come up tomorrow to start bringing something that is strange to you inside marriage. The sixth thing you should know in relationship, if you want to have a successful marriage, you should know this is very important, please. You need to consider the place of character. There is no marriage that will survive tomorrow or today without character. Why are marriages breaking up today? Issue of character. Why are relationships failing today? The issue of character. You cannot separate relationship and you cannot separate marriage from character, because whenever you are entering into a relationship or marriage, you are entering into that relationship or marriage with your character, with your behavior. So while you are still relating with a man or a woman, a relationship, please, you should be able to study their character. Know whether you are comfortable with their character while they are still with you in that relationship, while you are still courting with them. Please study their character. Forget about sexual attraction first. Focus on their character. If marriage is going to fail on the platform of character. If marriage is going to succeed, it's going to succeed on the platform of character. You need to know things about that person's character, whether you are comfortable with his or her character, before you can go on with them in marriage. So if you are not comfortable with a man's character, please don't get married to that man. If you are not comfortable with a woman's character, please don't marry that lady. Because everything about marriage is all about character. Whether we are talking about her mentality, whether we are talking about his mentality, Whether we are talking about his family, whether we are talking about his foundation, all of them boils down to character. So if you are not comfortable with a woman's character, don't marry her. If you are not comfortable with a man's character, please don't get married to him. The seventh thing you should know about a person, a relationship, if you are going to have a successful marriage with them, is that you need to consider the level of their emotional management. How do they manage their emotion? Is he a kind of man, whenever he feels horny, any woman he sees, he will not sleep with that woman? Is he that type of man? Is she the type of woman, whenever she feels sexual urge, any man she sees, any man that she sees, she will just sleep with that man? Is she that type of woman? Is she this type of woman that at any slightest provocation, the whole of your neighborhood will know that she's shouting, that she's screaming? She will start hitting you. This lady does not even mind breaking bottle because she is emotionally unstable. So emotional management is very important. How does he manage his emotion? How does she manage her emotion? How does he manage his emotion? How does she manage her emotion? Very important. Don't say that emotional management is not important. It's very, very important. Emotional management and emotional intelligence are two core factors that will help us to succeed in marriage or not. A lot of men have destroyed their marriage today because when it comes to the issue of emotion, they were careless. They lack proper emotional management. And some women too are like that. So you need to know something about that person's level of emotional management and intelligence before agreeing to go on with them in marriage while you are still in relationship with them. That's why I always tell people, when you are in relationship with somebody and both of you are going out, the man is taking you out, both of you are gisting, both of you are talking, please do well to study their emotional management. Do well to find out the level of their emotional management and intelligence. Don't say it doesn't matter. Because lack of that can make a marriage to fail. And the presence of proper emotional management and intelligence will always make a relationship to succeed. The eighth thing you should know in relationships, if you are going to have a successful marriage with a man, is that you need to know things about their financial beliefs and behavior. Are they the type of people that believe in wasting money? Or are they the type of people that believe in preserving and saving money? Is she the type of woman that likes to save and invest her money? Or is she the type of man that likes to waste money? So you need to understand people's beliefs and behaviors towards money. There are people that believe that poverty is close to godliness. It's a belief. There are people that have that mentality, that the poorer they are, the closer they are to God. There are people that have that kind of mentality. And there are people that cannot be able to save. Anytime money enters into their hands, they will just blow it up. So you need to understand someone's mentality towards money and a person's behavior towards money. Because at the end of the day, money will always be part of that marriage. Without money, you cannot have a sweet marriage. That's just the truth. There will always be frustrations here and there inside that marriage. So money is needed to finance romance. And money is needed to take care of the family, to take care of your needs and the needs of the children and the needs of the man as well. And the needs of the woman as well in that marriage. So if you are in relationship with a man, you need to find out whether the man is a stingy man, whether the man is very stingy. There are men, they have money, but to bring that out that money and give to the woman in their life, is a difficult case for them. There are men, it's very difficult for them to give their wife money to cook, to take care of their home. It's very difficult for such men. But for money, they have that money. And there are women, if you give them money, they like wasting money. They are not wise managers of resources. So you need to understand that you need to ascertain that man, that woman's beliefs and behavior towards money. It's very important. Don't say it doesn't matter. It matters. While you are still in a relationship with them, find out these things about them so that somebody does not shock you when it comes to the issue of money tomorrow. So that you don't get into marriage with them tomorrow and discover that this person is a waster, that this man lacks the ability to save money, that this man is a stingy man, that this woman is a waster, so that people don't shock you with their attitude towards money tomorrow in marriage. You need to find out about their personal behavior and beliefs towards money while you are still with them in relationship before you will graduate that relationship to marriage. The ninth thing you need to know about someone in a relationship before you will get into marriage with them, if you stand any chance of having a successful marriage with them, is that you need to know what is their mentality and behavior towards drinks and drugs. Is he a drug addict? Is she a drug addict? Are you comfortable with them taking drugs? Is he an alcoholic person? Anytime he finishes drinking, he will fall inside the gutter. Is she like that? Anytime she finishes drinking, people will be carrying her back home. Is she like that? That girl you are with, is she comfortable with smoking or taking Colorado or Colos or whatever you call it? Is she taking cocaine? Is he taking cocaine? So drugs and drinks, you need to find out their mentality, their beliefs, and their behavior towards these two things. They are very important. Please don't say it doesn't matter. It matters. It matters. So if you are not comfortable with a man smoking, please don't get married to that man. If you are not comfortable with a smoking lady, don't get married to that lady. Don't marry that woman. I always tell people, whatever you are not comfortable with in relationship, please don't agree to enter into marriage with the person that is doing those things, because it will lead to marital failure. If you are not comfortable with someone's behavior and attitude towards drinks and drugs, please don't get married to them. Because that is the reason why we are seeing marital failures everywhere. These are 9 things you need to find out why you are still in a relationship with a man or a woman. Don't say it doesn't matter. It's not about the man carrying you around in town, carrying you from one joint to another joint, carrying you to go from one hotel to another hotel, from one guest house to another guest house, carrying you to go different places, from one resort center to another resort center, carrying you to go for movies. I'm not saying all these things are not good. They can take you to go to a movie theater for you to watch movies. They can take you to cinema. The man can take you out for you guys to go and swim. But beyond all of these things, why you are still in relationship with people, please find out these 9 things I just talked about in this video. Because at the end of the day, these 9 things will determine whether your marriage to them will succeed or whether that marriage will fail. And if you have watched this video to this point, please, I want you to subscribe, because I discover a lot of you are watching my videos, but you are not subscribing. So please, I'm pleading with you, please subscribe. It's simple. You see the subscription button below the description boss, you will see the subscription button, and I want you to just tap on that subscription button, and I will equally want you to like this video, give me a thumbs up in this video, and I want you to turn on the notification button so that you get to see my videos whenever I upload new ones. And I want you to drop a comment in the comment section below. If there are other things that we need to know while we are still in relationship with a man or a woman that will guarantee marital success, please drop those things, those your comment in the comment section below. And I want you to watch the next video that is popping up right before you. What you need to know about a man's laws in life.